Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'd like to begin by thanking my colleague Sandra White for securing this evening's members' debate. Unlike Sandra White and indeed Claire Adams, I did not know Alasdair Gray personally, but I am fortunate to know two individuals who did and who worked with him closely, and I'm very grateful to both of them, Dr Rog Glass and our mutual friend Mark Butland, for their help in preparing these remarks that I'm about to deliver. Presiding Officer, for 7 decades, Alasdair Gray worked furiously across space and form, transforming the artistic landscape of the country. He documented his home city of Glasgow as it disappeared and reappeared, almost as one of his imagined objects in all its vibrancy. He charted Glasgow's changes with compassion, training his focus on the marginalised and the forgotten. So successful was Gray in his endeavour that the famed restriction from Lanark that not even the inhabitants of Glasgow live there imaginatively has been ironically but pleasingly rendered obsolete by his own reimagining of the city and his ability to project the interior life of its inhabitants. His achievements were born of a lifetime of perseverance. Having scribbled in teenage diaries an imaginary shelf of books he wished to create, Gray steadfastly made that shelf a reality, producing work that changed Scotland, the way it sees itself, and the ways it looks to the future. Though some believe he belongs to Scotland, for me his works know no boundaries or borders. As Patrick Harvey acknowledged, Gray argued he was merely doing the same as Dickens with London or Dostoevsky with St Petersburg, using the local to approach the universal, asserting Scotland's legitimacy in the process. We have rightly heard much praise for Alasdair Gray's work today, but praise of the dead must also be accompanied by reflection. By that I don't mean guesswork, pretending we can know what Alasdair Gray would have wanted, or reducing him to a set of beliefs. In Gray's case, that's too reductive. What drove him was doubt and the search for knowledge, not the dogmatic fortification of opinion. True reflection is considering what can be learned from the life and works of those no longer with us. We learn not only from Gray's works, but in the way he lived his life. Mr. Gray stipulated he should have no funeral. He wanted no fuss. Who knows what he might have made of this debate? This behaviour goes beyond the humble nature of a preternatural talent. It's telling that in my conversations with his collaborators and supporters, I found that the first line of each eulogy does not mention the artistic achievements. Remember him as a man whose kindness had few peers. He treated his collaborators with respect, often paying them more than he earned. His grace was not an impersonation. If a mask rarely slips in the course of a lifetime, Gray wrote, then it's likely because it's not a mask at all. He believed himself the equal of anyone and was unafraid to assert that, but also thought himself better than no one. Gray wrote many times that he was a product of his time and his community in Ridley. He had been provided encouragement and opportunity and believed that everyone has a right to aspire. Through his example, Gray elevated a new generation to follow in his compassionate conduct, his artistic bravery to see the world anew, and his internationalist approach that gleams the mundane for universal truths. Alasdair Gray's works will live long, and Scotland is richer for it. But we should reflect on the democratiser that created this work. One could not have existed without the other, and if we truly remember Alasdair Gray, we should seek to hold his principle in highest regard. That triumph in artistic vision can only be understood as a product of the man who made it, and did so much to help others have a vision of their own.
Thank you very much.